to control. So we begin to do social exercising. So we not only report, we will not only inform, we will also set agenda.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at Dominion Cast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Good morning, Nigeria. It's Friday, this 12th of September, 2025, and this is Daybreak Live Extra right here on Dominion Television. I am Samson Balogun.
And I am Pat Aito.
And I'm Anulu Akpo Ido. Fridays are for that extra touch, you know what we say, more gist, more insight, and yes, a little more fun as we step into the weekend. All right, and speaking of gist, our opener today comes from none other than Nobel laureate winner Wole Soyinka after his recent U.S. visa re-interview. He had a few words for Donald Trump, calling him a white Idi Amin.
Just Soyinka to always deliver in colorful language. He even said he first thought the invitation letter was either a scam or some AI-generated fraud. Wole Soyinka can put bureaucracy and humor in the same sentence.
Actually, but there's a serious undertone too, if we have to consider that visa processes remain stressful for many Nigerians. And if someone of Soyinka's status and his stature can feel that way, it speaks volume about how flawed and frustrating these systems can be.
All right, that's exactly what I was about to say. But it's a mix of wit, weight, and wisdom, the Soyinka way. But that's just one of the conversations we'll be unpacking this morning on this show.
And we will also have the Daybreak News, top stories across politics, society, and the economy, setting the pace for your Friday.
Then we'll dive into the newspaper headlines and analysis, breaking down what the papers are saying and what those headlines really mean for an average Nigerian. And for our big story this morning, we shift gears. Akinrin Ade Oladipupo, from engineering excellence to spiritual influence, is an artist and lead vocalist.
and a mechanical engineer. How does he combine all these two? Then we will get to the big story, and of course, showing us how passion and profession can meet purpose.
Well, it's going to be an inspiring one. So we're saying good morning wherever you are watching us from.
And of course, we wrap things with Trend Watch, where we scan what Nigerians are buzzing about online, from the hilarious to the thought-provoking conversations.
So stay with us. It is Daybreak Live Extra, your Friday morning mix of gist, news, and the conversations that count. Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you on a Friday.
I mean, I'm so excited to be at the center of things,
What center of?
Center of excellence.
Which is
something like that.
No, center of Dominion Television.
Okay, if you put it that way, that's
works,
fine.
Yeah,
because we're in Ibadan, so you want to
okay,
bring. So it will be center of Dominion Television.
Okay, no problem. I'll take that.
Ladies,
you have it. So if there is a speaker of the house on the ground, so you can just slam your arm and say, okay.
I wish I could do that
your gavel, slam it.
You have it. So there's something really interesting about. Is it interesting? Painful, actually.
Painful, why?
Painful, and also
you want to visit and tell you no, we want to reschedule your interview. So what's painful there?
You see, the thing about visa application in Nigeria is most Nigerians suffer in silence. You get to pay so much money, and you are not even sure if you are going to be granted visa. And you see so many people, after, they have been rejected one way or the other, they still reapply and then reapply. So I've seen people that have tried, going to America, going to Canada, going to the United Kingdom about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and they do it back to back. Once they have been rejected or there is no visa for you this time, come back next time, they are reapplying immediately, just so they can meet up with time frame. They just want to make sure that okay, I have a registration that says within this also time frame I can also be re-interviewed. But the point that I want to make this morning is that it is becoming more of a problem than a solution. Must we leave the country, Nigeria? I think that's a question the federal government must answer. If there's an enabling environment, I think no Nigerian will be thinking of leaving the country. And if they do, it will be on a case of, oh, let me go sightseeing. I want to see what Paris looks like. I want to see what the United States looks like. I want to see what Canada looks like. So it's not about me leaving Nigeria to stay in Canada, to pack some money and then come back to Nigeria. And we have seen people, even after so much they have made in Canada, in the United Kingdom, they still don't want to come to Nigeria. And that's why I'm referring back to what Putin said some years ago, saying Africa is more or less like a cemetery for an average African man. Because what they do is, after leaving, when the Japa syndrome actually comes to play, after leaving the country, they go. And then the only thing that happens is, oh, I'm getting old. I think I can no longer work here. I cannot survive in this kind of weather or, of course, environment anymore. Let me go back to Nigeria. There, at least I have some money. And then I begin to manage my money until, okay, when God says it's time. So that is the usual routine we have. And it's no fluke. If you examine the current situation, you realize it is exactly the same thing.
The same thing. But the high point of this conversation, when I was checking, was that Shoyinka said he was not going to, assent to that. He was not going to attend that rescheduling, according to him. And he stated reasons to be that the date they gave for the rescheduling was the problem, which was 9/11, which is supposed to be a historical moment for the United States and the world at large. Of course, the World Trade Center way back. And then he was saying that that was the only reason they said he would not follow suit and go and meet them for the interview, because he said he was expecting that the United States at the time that was the way he put it, should be mourning and not just calling for people to come into their country at the time. And again, just a bit of context into that particular conversation. In 2016, Wole Soyinka said he was going to revoke his American green card if Donald Trump comes as the president, becomes eventually Donald Trump is now the president. So there's also an undertone in that conversation to say, is Donald Trump trying to, throw shades or trying to do something, but is it personal? And so that was one of the things Wole Soyinka said. They said it's not personal. Like, it feels like it's not personal, just maybe an oversight, something they should not have done and they are doing. But we could also take this to say someone of that caliber, someone of that profile, Wole Soyinka, Nobel laureate, a big statesman it's even a world kind of renowned person, right? So if he has to go through all of that, how much more and Anulua Poido, you know, going through all of that process again and again. So you have the first interview. Of course, the U.S. Embassy came out to say this is what they want to be doing. Not so long ago, they said they want to have 2 interviews for some. I think he had a B2 visa. So he said, okay, so he doesn't have a problem with them saying he should come back for a rescheduling. He's having a problem with the date they are putting. 9/11 should be for mourning and not for visa and all of these things. I mean...
Well, I know I'll come into in 2 ways. You both spoke about how some people will be denied visa, or they denied visa and they could not even come out to say, oh, this was what happened. All of them will put it under the umbrella of maybe your village people and co.
Yeah.
And co. So now they denied him visa, or like they rescheduled the interview for him. It's not a big deal. But him coming to say, oh, 9/11 should be a day for the state to mourn, it is not in the purview of Wole Soyinka to do that. It is in the purview of the government there. So they're, okay, fine, we want to... It is not that time you're actually going there. They just want to have an interview with you. And the state they're going to have the interview is in Nigeria. So it is not in his own purview to do that. But all the same, you know, Wole Soyinka, for his porous of words, and it was like, we have the white Idi Amin there.
Exactly.
And that is, he's referring to the Uganda former military head there that died in 2003.
That was just an expression.
An expression, just an expression that if you know the man, you know exactly what Trump is actually doing over there. Well, it's 2 way things. The man just have to like, okay, Shebi, you said if I... happens to be if I eventually wins the election, being the president of US, you won't come. So I think that is what is playing out. And I think I listened to it. He said, Soyinka said he was wary of such invitation because of his safety, and added that, are we looking in the case of United States at the white Idi Amin, for instance?
Absolutely. I was going to ask a question too. That is this an affront to Donald Trump, the U.S. president, to say you are like... So if I compare you to maybe Judas Iscariot, for example, you would want to scoff and say, "Are you okay?" You know. Right. So could this be an affront to the president of the United States?
You see, there's something about expression. That, you know, when you express yourself in one way or the other, and there are sometimes you use some words in some context, and only people who understand or reason along
with you
context, would understand what you are trying to say. And I do not want to believe Professor Wole Soyinka is too professional, is too intelligent.
But it's been in problems, with political problems.
Yes, I understand that. But there are situations where you would understand, you know, where he's coming from. I think it was just an expression, which I want to say is harmless. But, you know, it depends on your interpretation and Donald Trump's interpretation of what he has said. But at this time, I just want to, you know, the American government also know that, oh, there was a 9/11.
Yeah.
They knew what happened then, and they knew how much it meant to them. So, as she said the other time, yes, it's not in the purview of, you know, the Professor Wole Soyinka to say, look, you should be mourning on 9/11, so you should not be inviting people to come for interviews, re-interviews, or probably come to your country on that day. Yes, it is fine if he says that. But that's, you know, sometimes you do not have capacity or power to change some things, but you can actually lend your voice as regards what is happening. And probably it is only when you have said that people will begin to reason along that line. Oh, this is exactly what should have happened in the first place. Even though they wouldn't change, but within them, they would know that, oh, this shouldn't have happened. But all in all, I think visa rules to Nigerians should be relaxed a little bit. It's becoming more and more of a, you know, a part to get a visa. And the question is, what exactly are we going to the United States to achieve that we cannot do in Nigeria? These are questions we should ask ourselves.
I honestly was going to ask you this same question because I wanted to put on the floor, you know, on the table to say, okay, so can we have a conversation about all of this visa restrictions for some people, visa, the price as well as the cost, especially if you have to consider the rate of dollar to naira and all of that. So, and even etiquette, you know, is also a thing to consider for an average Nigerian. So where do we go from here, if not to build our own nation?
You see, the challenge doesn't really lie with the people, it lies with the government. Now, let's say, for example, you are bringing an investor to Nigeria. There are questions they're going to ask you. Where are we situating this company that we are bringing to Nigeria?
True.
How strong is the security in that particular area? And what are the things you are giving to us, probably tax rebate and some other things. So for maybe for a period of 5 years, do not pay tax, just operate your business, and when you begin to grow, then we'll see how we can actually tax your company. These are things and a serious government would tell, you know, an investor that is coming into the country. Now, aside other things too, but as it stands, if we do not have an enabling environment for businesses to thrive, that means that even an average Nigerian that wants to invest in Nigeria takes his or her money out of the country. Do not forget that the United States has a, you know, a kind of a visa arrangement that as an investor, you come into the United States, I think it's $800,000 US. You establish a business in the US and you automatically get a green card. So that's a way of them bringing people, investors, serious-minded people into their country. And guess who are the serious investors that are going into America? Some of them are Nigerians.
Yeah.
So how much more, if we can invest that money into Nigeria, into the Nigerian economy, it means that some people also want to come to Nigeria to invest. So if we are not encouraging our own people, then who will come to Nigeria to invest? So the only thing you will be seeing is scanty investments, just like we are seeing, once in 5 years a company comes to your state to establish, you know, a business. So it's going to become more and more of a problem if this is not nipped in the bud. So I think the government should liaise on behalf of the Nigerian people to the United States, to the UK, and so many other countries. Say, look, if you really want to do business with us, please relax these rules and make Nigerians, you know, it's not like an average Nigerian wants to die in Canada. They just want to go there.
They just want to go there, irrespective of what it is.
So if they know that they can actually survive and make some money in Nigeria and then be okay, I don't think anyone would want to stay in that kind of weather just because they want to make ends meet, when they know they can actually do that in Nigeria.
All right, we'll leave it here. And of course, when we return after this break, we will take the weather report. Stay tuned.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram @Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
All right, welcome back. It is still Daybreak Live Extra on Dominion Television here in Ibadan. We take you through what the weather is saying this morning. Of course, we start with Lagos State, and Lagos this morning is going to be cloudy and of I think 26 degrees Celsius and 23%, and in the afternoon 27 degrees Celsius, and of course it's going to be raining, or it will rain in the afternoon, and that's of 66%. And in the evening, it will be 26 degrees Celsius. Of course, it will be cloudy as well, and that's of 21%. And overnight, it will be 25 degrees Celsius. And of course, scattered thunderstorm is expected around 48%.
And from Lagos to Ekiti State now, Ekiti East particularly, where it feels like 22 degrees Celsius, the weather. And of course, in the morning, around 24 degrees Celsius, there will be showers. Of course, there were showers in Ibadan today, some parts of Ibadan, where I come from anyway. Don't tell me it's far. But anyway, afternoon, it was 25 degrees. It will be 25 degrees, I meant to say thunderstorms, actually. Evening, 22 degrees Celsius, cloudy. And of course, overnight, it's 21 degrees Celsius, cloudy in Ekiti State today.
And moving down to Abeokuta this morning, especially in Ogun State, it currently feels like 24 degrees Celsius. And later in the morning, it will rise to 26 degrees Celsius with thunderstorms expected right there. Of course, most definitely it is 100% certain there will be thunderstorm right there in Ogun this morning. And in the afternoon, it will rise to 27 degrees Celsius. Also, there will be thunderstorm at 91%. And it will be cloudy in the evening at 24 degrees Celsius. And overnight, 24 degrees Celsius, cloudy right there in Abeokuta this morning.
And from Abeokuta, we drive down to Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. And this morning, it will be 25 degrees Celsius. And of course, showers is expected around 41%. And in the afternoon, it will be 27 degrees Celsius. Scattered thunderstorms is expected as well. And that's of 43%. And in the evening, 23 degrees Celsius. Showers is expected and around 40%. And overnight, it will be 22 degrees Celsius. Few showers will be expected around 34%.
And weather in Suleja today, Niger State, of course, the largest state in the country, it feels like 22 degrees Celsius this today. Of course, 25 degrees in the morning, and of course, 27 degrees Celsius. Scattered thunderstorms as well in the afternoon, evening, 23 degrees Celsius, and then it falls a bit lower by 22 degrees Celsius overnight. Very cloudy in Suleja, Niger State.
Okay, away from there, this morning we'll take weather report from Oyo State, Ibadan Southwest to be precise, as weather currently feels like 24 degrees Celsius. Scattered thunderstorms expected later in the morning at 25 degrees Celsius, and most definitely same at 26 degrees Celsius. There'll be thunderstorms right there at 84% later in the afternoon. And by evening, it will be mostly cloudy at 23 degrees Celsius, and there will be showers in the overnight at 23 degrees Celsius.
And from Ibadan, we head straight to Oshu, and we have this morning it will be 24 degrees Celsius. Of course, rain is expected around 93%. In the afternoon, it will be 25 degrees Celsius. Scattered thunderstorms is expected as well, around 54%. In the evening, it will be 23 degrees Celsius, cloudy, and of 21%. And overnight, 22 degrees Celsius. Few showers is expected around 32%.
Without sparing the north, we'll go straight to Kaduna State. Kaduna North, of course, this morning feels like 21 degrees Celsius, the weather. And morning, it has about 25 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy. Afternoon is 28 degrees Celsius. Scattered thunderstorms. Evening is 23 degrees Celsius with showers. Prepare for umbrellas if you are staying in Kaduna. And of course, overnight, 21 degrees Celsius, cloudy as well in Kaduna.
Still in the north, this morning, let's go straight to Kano State, as weather currently feels like 22 degrees Celsius right there. And later in the morning, it will be mostly sunny at 28 degrees Celsius. Also mostly sunny in the afternoon at 32 degrees Celsius. There will be few showers later in the evening at 26 degrees Celsius, and mostly clear overnight at 23 degrees Celsius in Kano.
And lastly, on weather report, we head straight to Port Harcourt. And this morning, it will be 24 degrees Celsius. And of course, it will be cloudy and around 20%. And in the afternoon, it will be 23 degrees Celsius. Thunderstorms is expected around 81%. And in the evening, 21 degrees Celsius. Rain will be expected around 68%. And overnight, 21 degrees Celsius. Scattered thunderstorms is expected around 49%. And that's
okay. And that's how much we take today. Of course, we get straight to the news segment of Daybreak Live, of course, but that will be shortly after this break. Join us again on Dominion Television.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram @Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
A very good morning to you. Welcome to Daybreak News on Dominion Television. I am Pat Aito. The House of Representatives has begun a probe into the disbursement of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NEL) in the Southeast. The chairman of the Joint Committee on Student Loans, Scholarships and Higher Education Financing, Banking and Other Ancillary Institutions, Anti-Corruption and University Education, Professor Sunday Namchi, made this known at the Southeast Zonal investigative hearing at the Enugu State University of Science and Technology, ESUT. Professor Namchi stated that the committee's mandate is to objectively probe allegations of infractions in the loan disbursement process across beneficiary institutions. Professor Namchi, who represents Enugu East, Izi Federal Constituency, explained that the committee will also interrogate the operational processes guiding student loan disbursement. The federal government has disclosed that the cattle bridge in Lagos State can no longer be salvaged. The Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, stated this during an extensive inspection of the bridge on the deck, noting that the visit was aimed at assessing whether parts of the bridge, particularly its ramps, could be preserved to reduce both construction cost and timeliness. The minister noted that while consultant had already submitted the report on the bridge's condition, for the verification will be carried out using government instruments. The minister added that the federal government was also exploring whether any part of the existing structure could still be utilized, even as discussions leaned towards adopting a new alignment. The Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has urged the federal government to conduct a thorough audit of power sector infrastructure and reassess the current privatization framework. In response to the recent national grid collapse that left a major part of the country in darkness, the Labour Union has urged the government to hold the use of public funds to subsidize privatized electricity companies. In a statement, NLC President Comrade Joe Ajaero urged the government to channel the trillions already spent in the sector into public-driven investment in power generation and transmission infrastructure instead. The NLC said Nigerians will no longer tolerate man-made blackout or accept excuses for what it described as a deliberate failure by the government. The Federal High Court in Abuja has convicted and sentenced Mahmoud Usman, a commander of the proscribed terrorist group Ansaro, to 15 years imprisonment. Justice Emeka Wita gave the sentence after Usman pleaded guilty to charges of illegal mining activities, which prosecutors said enabled him to acquire arms for terrorism and kidnapping. The judge further ordered his remand in the custody of the Department of State Services pending his trial on 31 other charges brought against him by the federal government. The trial was adjourned until 21st of October. Oyo State government is set to officially launch a sub-national African Continental Free Trade Area AFCFTA implementation strategy today. She revealed this while briefing newsmen ahead of the launch, stating that the initiative will mark a significant milestone in the state's economic development. According to Tiaselo, the event will be held at the International Conference Center, University of Ibadan, and will bring together key stakeholders, including the Secretary General of AFCFTA African Union, Wakemle Mene, representatives from the federal government and other prominent figures across Africa. Tiaselo added that Oyo State will become the first sub-national entity to achieve its feat, positioning itself as a leader in economic integration and trade facilitation. Nurses and midwives at the Ladoke Akitola University Teaching Hospital, Bomosho, have issued a 15-day ultimatum to the hospital management over the alleged neglect of other welfare and conditions of service. The workers under the umbrella of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Lautech Teaching Hospital chapter, accused the management of repeatedly sidelining them whenever new benefits were approved for health workers in the state. This was contained in the statement jointly signed by the unit chairman Ojawumi Olutayo and the unit secretary Adedokun Fuluwake, respectively in Ibadan, the state capital. The workers noted that while their counterparts in other state-owned facilities had begun enjoying the new national minimum wage, workers of Lautech Teaching Hospital had been left out. Oyo State Commissioner of Police Femi Aruna has urged journalists to accurately and positively project the image of the Nigerian police. The commissioner made this call during a meeting with the management and staff of Dominion Broadcast Group at the LA State headquarters of the police force, expressing optimism about the presence of Dominion Broadcast Group. Commissioner Aruna commended the chairman of the media organization, Bishop Felix Owolabi, for establishing a business that has created job opportunities for the youth. While promising maximum support from the police, CP Aruna encouraged journalists to portray the Nigerian police in a positive light. Earlier, General Manager of Dominion Television, Runke Giwa Onofuwa, congratulated the commissioner and pledged a commitment to mutually cover the activities of the police in Oyo State. And in business, the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, has announced that it secured over $400 million in pre-sale decommissioning and abandonment liabilities from recent oil asset divestments in a move to prevent Nigeria from inheriting costly environmental and financial burdens. The chief executive of NUPRC, Benga Komolafe, disclosed this while speaking at an event in Lagos. The commission ensured that decommissioning and abandonment obligations were secured through upfront escrow arrangement and letters of credit in line with the Petroleum Industry Act. He expressed that the commission's effort will help safeguard host communities, protect the environment, and ensure smooth transitions of oil assets in Nigeria. And in sport, the Super Eagles and Venezuela will clash in a friendly in the United States of America in November. The international friendly will be held at an undisclosed venue on Friday, November 14th. The game will serve as part of Super Eagles' preparation for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Eric Shelley's side will wrap up the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign with the games against Lesotho and Benin Republic in October. Remember, you can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can follow us across our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast. and on X at DominionCast. And that is the Daybreak News. Thank you so much for watching. Good morning.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at DominionCast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram at Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
There seems to be a call for strike on the one hand, and on the other hand, there seems to be a call for some sack letters to go around. And I think that's exactly one of the conversations we'll be having today. Welcome to Newspaper Headlines and Analysis on Dominion Television. This is where we get into the print, check the stories that are breaking, developing, and trending across the newspapers. This morning will be the same. You're welcome on board. Of course, we'll get straight into the conversation. Of course, many papers to reel out this morning. The papers are loaded with so many stories. The front pages are not, some of them are smiling, but others are saying, sack some people, while the other ones are saying, let's go on the strike. Which one would happen? Time, they say, we tell. And of course, we'll get into the conversation straight up without wasting time. This morning, I have with me in the studio someone, an erudite person of, intellect, someone we can have a feast of reason together, talking about Lekon Shubowale. He's a public affairs analyst and a journalist. Good morning. Good to have you this morning. I wanted to say Ndigbo. Or Anne is Ndigbo.
Igbo Queen.
Queen. So let's get into the papers this morning. Of course, like I said, the Vanguard newspaper is where I'll take my first story from. And I think we usually don't have these kind of conversations, but I think it's still, like you were mentioning yesterday, about systemic failure and a lot of things happening in the country. It seems like every other sector is having a piece of its cake. Now, on the front page, as you can see on your screen, the Vanguard newspaper writes about World Cup, right? Ex-Eagles demand NFF board quits if Nigeria fails to qualify. That is really a big story you might want to check out this morning. Ex-Eagles, the likes of Mikel Obi and a host of others are saying there should be a sacklet. And I think also yesterday, if you check our page, yesterday there was also a sporting segment for Dominion Television where it was brought to the fore. There was a conversation around all of that. Why was there no sack letter when they said they sent some letters to say that some people, they took out a few players to say they were the cause of our 1-1 stalemate with South Africa. And so some were saying that why should you not sack the person that said some guys were called out, and all of that we've not seen in a long time. But yes, let's get into that conversation. I know sport might not be something a lot of people want to talk about, but at this point in time, if Nigeria claims to be the giant of Africa, it needs to spread its tentacles across almost all sectors. And because we've known this for a while now, that Nigeria is always, top when it comes to this kind of things, sporting events, and a lot of things. Now, seems like we are retrogressing. Are we jerking back? But the case now is to ask the question that, ex-Eagles are demanding for some people to be, taken away from the NFF board. Nigeria Football Federation is something to discuss, but I would like to take your pick on this. Going forward, is this a call that is going to result in something positive for the Nigerian football entirely?
Well, before now, there has been a whole lot of politics, surrounding the activities of the Glass House. That's the Nigerian Football Federation headquarters, Take, for instance, during the last World Cup qualifying match that we played, the second to the last, that was the match between Nigeria and Rwanda. Something happened, that has generated a lot of controversy. And when I heard people saying it, yes, I think the coach was justified. At the match between Nigeria and Rwanda, the captain was benched. The captain was asked to step aside. That's to second.
Yeah.
And he did. And Nigeria won that match. Now, look at our last match, Nigeria South Africa. See what happened. It was Sekong that did the home goal. Now, the coach, in his wisdom, decided to allow Sekong to rest because of what he has observed. And there were a lot of, noises, protests and all those stuff. And the coach, the head coach, bowed to pressure. And he brought him to Sekong. And look at the results. Before now we've been saying it, that godfatherism in NFF, godfatherism in our sports, our sporting activities won't take us to anywhere. You have employed a coach. He's not even a Nigerian. You claim he's a foreign coach. Allow this man to work, to do his work. There's a need for, now we don't even have sport minister again, but we have National Sports Commission. You understand that it is important for the National Sports Commission to look. It is not the issue of, I know NFF in the next few months we'll be having election of his officers. You can see Femi, what was this man? Femi Fani-Kayode, like 3 days ago said he will be stepping down for JJ Okocha. JJ Okocha is planning to come as the chairman of NFF. Maybe by the time we have professionals like JJ Okocha who understand the tenets, who understand the gimmicks and the mystery of the land leather game, maybe then we can have it right. But it's not even the issue of sack or no sack. This problem has been there time immemorial, in the early 90s, remember 1994 World Cup, 1998, the problem has been there. So the problem is not just starting today. It is important for those that are saddled with the responsibility of monitoring NFF, you understand, to look inward, and correct most of these abnormalities of NFF board dictating to the technical advisor, dictating to the head coach who of the players to be invited. Leave that to the coach. That's why you employ the coach. You understand? So you understand, he knows, but now they are shifting the blame to NFF because for one reason or the other. You understand? But if not for the fact that the coach was under a very serious and intense pressure, as we heard 2 days ago, that he needs to bring in this man to Zekong, because he's the captain, he's enjoying goodwill of, if they mention a governor, which I don't want to mention, politics should be separated from football, because football is just the only one thing that is now uniting Nigerians. Be you Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa, football unites all of us, and that is the only rallying point of our national unity, and that should not be taken for granted by all these politicians that.
All right. I wanted to also confirm if you are saying that dissolution of the NFF board might not really mean so much as what you are proposing.
Yeah, if you dissolve the NFF board, and the NFF have this I don't know, they operate like like civil service. In civil service, they call some people director general, they call some people permanent secretaries that you can never, they are there, and there is nothing you can do about them. You understand? They themselves, they have become an institution. So there are some people in NFF that you've been hearing of their name since 1994. You cannot just imagine. I heard a few days ago that this former NFF chairman, I cannot remember the man now, very prominent and popular NFF chairman. Amadu Pinnick.
Yeah.
You understand? Amadu Pinnick is the one managing Victor Osimhen. And Amadu Pinnick is even the one that installed this current NFF chairman. So Amadu Pinnick is still dictating 60% of what is going on in NFF.
So what you're calling for is the solution of godfatherism in the system.
You understand? See, let me tell you, if you are saying you want to dissolve the NFF board now, people like Amadu Pinnick will still have their say. You understand? So it is, the most important thing is, first of all, sanitize the system. It's as if you are saying that you want to remove president, or you want to remove a governor because you want to, clean to some extent the system. The president that you are still bringing in, is it not part of those decades of the past?
Of the past. Okay, so let's go forward into what we have also. Breaking on Nigerian Tribune newspaper. The front page says, fresh crisis hits Nupeng Dangote MOU. That's the story on page 11. Union accuses refinery of violating agreement, and union members and membership voluntary. That's coming from Dangote. They're saying that, union membership is voluntary, and they said that they remain committed to the federal government's intervention. And Nupeng operates collect dues within our facility. So there's a lot of story around, a lot of controversies, as it were, around this particular story. Fresh crisis hits Nupeng Dangote MOU. There's also that, they said they signed a sort of agreement, but not, it wasn't as explicit and as concrete as they would expect. They said that union, truck loaders should have a union with every other person along that chain, the distribution channels and all of that. So they said that's the agreement. But Dangote is coming out to say it seems like the position Dangote is taking is that we don't want unionism in this place. So,
yes.
I mean, so going forward, there's been that issue. And so they said because of this, we are going to go on a nationwide strike. What should be the way forward for this?
So before now, we all understand that, oil and gas sector has been a private institutions even before now. Yesterday we were discussing about refineries. How many refineries that we have in Nigeria that is working? No, it has been this Dangote refinery. And, it comes in two ways. We have fundamental human rights, rights to associate with whoever you want to associate with. But don't forget that Dangote is a private institution. And, in most of these private institutions, they don't allow unions. But what they are saying is that, yes, on September 3rd, they signed an MOU that Dangote said is going to allow his tankers driver to unionize. And you know that tankers drivers, they are members of NUPENG. What Dangote is trying to, is trying to
achieve.
He's not trying to. He would like to ensure that, this incessant strike by union members, tankers drivers, it doesn't want, it's a private investment. He has invested his money into this and he wants to make profit. You understand? He doesn't want anything that will destabilize, that will be like a clock in the wheel of the progress of his refinery. So he's saying that anyone that wants to unionize, you are free. But don't force those that don't want to unionize. There are some people that they will not be interested in joining the union. They will not be interested in being a NUPENG a member. Dangote is saying that don't force them. But NUPENG are saying that as far as you are a tanker driver, it is important, it is compulsory for you to join our union. And that's what Dangote is saying. That yes, we have signed an MOU that you are free. You understand, to unionize, you are free to join NUPENG. But don't force our members. Remember, there is this what we call picketing, that whenever there is strike in Nigeria, you see all these labor leaders, they move around all these institutions, all these establishments, chasing away staffs, chasing away some staff that want to work. You understand? They said, no, we are on strike, you cannot work. So that's what Dangote is saying, that you cannot force all my tankers drivers to join your union. It is voluntary. Whoever that wants to join the PEG
can join. Yes, let's get a bit further to stretch our legs also on another story. Well, we'll take two in one story. Of course, still on Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the top corner says, suspense as Jonathan and Obi meet in Abuja. Suspense as Jonathan and Obi meet in Abuja. So, of course, a lot of people are guessing. But again, that's not really the conversation. 2027, political parties may rise to 32 as INEC considers 14 for registration. That's also another kind of story that is quite similar to that. That's why we're picking it together. Political parties may rise to 32 as INEC considers 14 for registration. So it seems like the number, the digits, the figures is increasing by the day. But what exactly should this mean for the election come 2027 in the country?
Well, it is good when we have,
varieties.
But
varieties is 32 is a lot too.
But the truth of the matter is that most of don't remember in 2019, immediately after the election, most political parties were cancelled, were nullified by INEC, because of the inability. There is a constitutional provisions for this, that after the election, if you cannot meet up with, I cannot remember now, maybe 10 or 15% of, you are not having any members in any of the assemblies, be it National Assembly, State Assembly, such a political party will be deregistered. So we have a constitutional provision for that. But the truth of the matter is that most of these political parties, they are just coming up. Gone are the days when federal government, used to fund political parties. There was a time in this country that federal government, majorly during the period of during the military era, we don't forget that in 1992, it was the regime of General Ibrahim Babangida that built headquarters for the two major political parties in Nigeria, the SDP and NLC. I can remember very well. We still have that building of SDP in Oyo State. We still have it around that Gbagi, Wema area. So it was the military that was funding the political parties there. So, then, politicians were taking money from federal government, doing whatever they like. But now, federal government is no longer funding political parties. So the truth is that most of these political parties, they are going to die a natural death. You understand? It is very easy for you to take in an application to INEC that you want to register a political party, but it is another thing to sustain. We have it in 2019. Most of them, they are no more now. So, for me, I don't. There was a time in this country that we have 18, 24, 30.
Now we are
parties.
having 32.
But the question is, out of the 32 political parties,
which one of them?
Is? We have APC, PDP, Labour. We have maybe like 4 or 5 that are functioning. But it's good. That is why we are saying that we want a democratic governance.
Absolutely. So let's take a bit of more stories from the Punch newspaper this morning. It's about what we spoke about yesterday. Court summons Mark, others over ADC leadership tussle. They seem to have taken it a step further. They said they don't want to have it internal again, so they want to take it to court. ADC having internal crisis, internal rifts, to say that Aregbesola and David Mark being their leaders, the front men for that particular group. It seems like they are taking the step further to the court. What do you think would come out of this?
I said it yesterday. I said 2027 is still a very long way in politics. When some people are rejoicing on Wednesday that INEC has recognized David Mark. See, what they are telling us now, you understand, is that now we have so many legal cases now. We have one by Nosigu Gombe, the former acting national deputy chairman. We now have another one, initiated by, I think, like 3 or 4 of the members. Yes. You understand? And we were made to understand that even in the constitution of ADC, their 2018 constitution as amended, there is no place for an interim leadership there. You understand? There is no place for interim leadership there. So, and what we have now is interim national chairman, interim national secretary, interim national police secretary. And these people are saying that they are members of this party. They don't have a place for interim leadership in their party. And now court has summoned David Mark, Aregbesola, Bolaji, their police secretary, to appear before it on September 15 and come and convince the court why they should not be disrecognized. But from all indications, they are interim chairman. David Mark is interim chairman. They are interim leadership of the party. Yes. And the constitution of the party that you are sitting on is telling us that there is no place for interim national leadership. So even without going to court, common sense dictates that they are already contravened the provisions of the constitution of the party you say you are leading. So, like I told you yesterday, we still have so many cases, but thank God that INEC will surely register this ADA, before they joined ADC. Malam Nasiru Rufai has informed us that the party they want to use is ADA, but they joined ADC because ADA then was not registered. But now there is at least 85% that ADA, in the next few days will be registered. Maybe they will all move out of ADC. Remember I told you yesterday that Atiku Abubakar, as we speak now, is yet to be duly registered as a member of ADC. So it goes a long way. It's having.
Help me consolidate your point. Yeah, I get your point, but help me consolidate it in few words to say, are you saying it's a write-off for ADC already?
I cannot say that because, the case is now in the court and I don't want to preempt the court. But what I'm saying that, common sense dictates that if the constitution of the party is saying that the provisions of its constitution never recognize interim national leadership. Yes, that means it's as simple as that. The court will work and court will decide on the context of the constitution of the party, that is ADC.
Again, very quickly, you mentioned ADA, but before we go on this, I would like you to speak to that issue. So you said ADA and some other parties. Now we have a total of 32, maybe still to come. But
Yes.
exactly, so going forward, does this cause a fear for the big guns? I mean, I don't want to mention, of course, we all know.
Yes.
So does this cause a scare for them?
No, scare? No, scare, no. You know, the truth of the matter is that, you know, we have APC, we have PDP, maybe Labour, APGA in Anambra. There is nothing to be scared of. You know, we are used to that.
But for every party that emerges, they have a number of people. And politics is all about numbers. So if you take away from the number of PDP, APC, so we take it to other parties, it means they have less.
Because before we can know the seriousness of this party, before we can know the strength of this party, let them be registered and let's see who is coming in and who is going out.
Absolutely.
So that will decide whether they are serious or not.
Well, I mean, we could have this conversation again and again, and we'll still not get to the end of it, but we have to go because, of course, the big story comes right up on after this particular. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Lekon Shoboale, this morning, and as usual, thank you, Nigerians, for staying tuned. Of course, we go straight into the big story with Samson, and I'm sure you want to listen and watch that this morning. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. We're coming back right after this break. Stay with us.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at Dominion Cast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Good morning, viewers. You are tuned into Daybreak Live Extra right here on Dominion Television. And this is the big story. The program where we bring you not just the headlines, but the life stories, the impact, and the inspiration behind remarkable personalities shaping our world today. My name is Samson Balogun, and thank you for staying tuned. Today we shine the spotlight on the young man whose journey beautifully bridges two worlds, engineering excellence and spiritual influence. Our guest, Minister Keriade Oladipupo, is a Nigerian gospel artist, lead vocalist, and trained mechanical engineer. Born in Ibadan and proudly hailing from Oyo State. His story is one of passion, devotion, and purposeful living. Since beginning his music journey in 2017, Oladipupo has been deeply committed to gospel music industry. And of course, sharpening his gifts through the church choir and eventually leading the Praise Aloud crew, popularly known as PAL. He has organized and convened powerful worship experiences such as Invasion 1.0 and Wonders of Worship in Ibadan, drawing hearts closer to God. With a style that combines creativity, revelational knowledge, and energetic worship, he continues to minister across churches, inspiring believers and winning souls for Christ. Balancing his professional grounding as a mechanical engineer with a divine call to be a vessel of worship, Akurinde Oladipupo represents a new generation of ministers equipped in skill, passionate in spirit, and relentless in service. So this morning we explore his journey, his vision, and the unique harmony between his engineering background and his ministry of music. Good morning once again. This is The Big Story, and I have with me in the studio, Akurinde. Good to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much, sir.
It's going to be an interesting session. So let me ask you, what your background in Ibadan? Could you please share your background in Ibadan and how it shaped your career till today?
All right, my background in Ibadan, I was born in Ibadan.
Okay.
My parents live in Ibadan. I started all my life right in Ibadan. And my education life, almost all my schooling life was in Osun State.
Okay.
Secondary school, Unity High School, Higher Institution, Federal Polytechnic, Ede. And while growing up, I had this passion for music. It has always been what I want to do all through my life. But you know, sometimes there's a plan you have for yourself, there's a plan of God, and at the same time, your parents also have a plan for you. My parent doesn't believe in music. They don't. They believe anybody that studied music is a lazy man. So my parent has always been saying, either you do engineering or you go through architect. I love architectural design. I can even draw building plans. I love it so much. But looking at my parents' plan, I have to go through what they wanted. So I continue pushing for music actually, but it actually was not coming true. So when I was going to the higher institution, I met with a man, Mr. Kenny. So he gave me a lot of advice. You can be an engineer and still do music. You can do blah, blah, blah. But still, it was really not, I didn't get that interest in it at all. But as God will have it, I went to Federal Polytechnic Ede. I did mechanical engineering. I graduated. But I still went back to study music because that was what I wanted.
You left, you finished studying engineering.
I finished studying engineering.
And then after that, you know, it's more or less like, oh, I have given you what you wanted. So it's now time for me to get what I wanted.
Yes, so I went to music. I did music, American music, grade 1, grade 2. When I got to grade 3, I stopped because I didn't have the resources to push for that. So later, I started working in a company in Ibadan here. They call it radiating company. They deal with polythene bags as an engineer. But there's something I noticed. Every December 16, they will always give me sack letter. So I got sacked at that company. I went to another company, Looms Oil. December 16, they gave me sack letter again. I asked them why. They didn't have any reason. So it got like that, and I would always apply to different companies, and they would always employ me. But December 16, if December 16 falls to Sunday, I would already be packing my decks that Monday I'm getting sack letter, and definitely I will get a sack letter. So after that, I work in an hotel again as their mechanical maintenance, A3 Hotel along Ojo. The person that owns the hotel is a very close friend to my dad, very, very close. So I see no reason why I should get sacked because he's a friend to my dad. I got the job through
your dad.
My dad. But December 16 came. Bam, I got sacked again.
Same day.
Same day. After that, I went to, there's a farm industry.
You might not mention the name just.
All right, so I went to a farm industry also. I was working there. I got sacked again. So that day, that particular day on the farm, I was working as the farm engineer, and I noticed this headache came. It was so serious. And I have a spiritual father, Prophet Akinbiyi Mark. So I went to meet him. And Daddy was like, okay, Ngboro, you were told not to work. Be a music minister full time. And I was like, okay, fine. I've been hearing this countless time. Okay. So that was how I stopped the engineering aspect of my life. And I faced music fully.
Okay. Now, how did you first discover your passion for music?
Okay.
Before you started fully in 2017.
Yeah, I discovered my talent for music through a brother. He's a music person in my area. Anytime I see this man, there's always a joy that comes within me.
From within.
Like I don't know him. Like I don't know anything about this man, but all I know is he lives in my area and he's doing music. Okay. He's a producer. Anytime I just set my eyes on him, there's a joy. Even if I'm sad, there's a joy that comes. Suddenly, I don't know how. And right from when I was small, my parents do tell me I sing a lot. Any simple thing, I sing. If they have to scold me for doing something, the next thing I will do is singing. I've seen singing to be something that gives me I don't know how to put it, that gives me relief of whatever thing I'm going through. Okay. So that's how I just get to know that, okay, fine. And also through divine prophecy, my prophet would tell me, this is what you are meant to do. This is who you are. Okay,
you are a trained engineer.
Yes.
How does your engineering background, how has it helped you to shape your career till today? Is there any way it has actually helped you to shape your music career?
I wouldn't say it has helped because something I don't have passion for. I don't even like it. I don't like it at all. So I will just, even while working in all these complaints, I notice I will always take excuse to go for programs. So I don't even like to be an engineer at all. I don't like it. I just did it based on what my parents wanted.
Okay, joining the church choir was a turning point for you. Now, what lessons did you learn that guide you till today in the church choir?
In the church choir, I learned to be humble.
Most music artists will say, oh, we started from the church choir. Even in the secular music, they will say, oh, we started from the church choir, and then today we are doing commercial music, and you would understand. So for you, you are still in the line, you're still doing gospel. And most definitely, you joined the church choir and it's influenced you one way or the other. So what did you learn in the church choir that shaped you now?
I learned one key word, to be humble. No matter who you are, no matter where you've gotten to, be humble. Now, in the church choir where I am, I'm not the choir coordinator. To the point I go out to minister, I go to different places to minister. Still, I will never look down on my choir coordinator that, who are you? I know more than you. It's not possible. So the church choir has shaped my life to a certain point to always, wherever I find myself,
stay humble.
Stay humble.
Now, let's talk about the music scene in Nigeria. It's a complex industry. Now, they will call some people the secular music artist, and of course, they will call some people gospel music artists. You have been doing gospel music, and most definitely you would have friends who do secular music. So how do you balance these two things together that you don't get to stray off what you know, what you have been taught, and what you see as your values?
Yeah, one thing is understand your purpose. Understand why you are called to do this. Once you know why you are called to do this, there's nothing that will shift your attention away from it, and you stay focused on it. I have a lot of friends that deal with secular, to the point that even some of them will always tell me, guy, this thing that you're doing is not bringing anything, it's not doing kiniko. But there's one thing that keeps me moving. I know where I'm going to. I know what God has called me to do. I know the certain people God called me to minister to. And that alone has always kept me moving.
Now, distribution and funding are known to be basic issues gospel artists do face. Now, how do you go through this? Do you have productions out there that are doing fine, or you are still looking at the actual areas of how do I distribute my music? How do I get funding for my projects? Because assistants, gospel artists really do face this challenge.
Well, currently, I don't have any production out there. Last year, I did a live record, and I'm still working on the project. But when it comes to funding, I can just say it's only God that is helping, because it's not easy. As a gospel artist, I do my ministry based on instruction from God. Anything God tells me to do is what I will do. And I got an instruction that anywhere I stand to minister, I should not build them. Anything they give me is what I should go with. Even with my team, and I thank God for the team that I have. I don't bill for programs at all. I don't bill. So it's what they give, anything within their capacity. And since the time I've followed that instruction, I've never lacked. God has been the one supplying my needs.
That takes us to the area of honorarium for gospel artists who go to churches to perform. We have seen situations where some people see it as, oh, he's working for God, so he doesn't deserve to take anything. God will reward him. So how does God reward a gospel artist when a church says, look, don't worry, just do your thing and go?
Now,
thank you is what you get. When you get thank you as, your honorarium.
Yeah. Now, most times, for the fact that a minister doesn't bill doesn't mean the church should not even give an honorarium. No. You can't say because he doesn't bill you and you're not giving him anything. No. What do you want him to use as transport? If he has a car, to fuel the car, a lot of things you need to look at. But for the fact that he's not billing doesn't mean you should not even give him anything. I've been to places, a lot of places whereby all I get is thank you. God bless you. I've been to places whereby the pastor will even be like, Deep Praise, what should I give you? Dip his hand in his pocket, bring out 100 naira new notes, and be giving my guys. I've been to a lot of places. But still, I won't say because of that, shift my focus away from it. No. Why? I know where I'm going to. If I don't know where I'm going to, then I would always be like, how to sue me. Though there's some certain time that I get so, like, I don't think I'll do this again. But once I remember where I'm going to, once I remember my purpose, I keep moving.
Okay, now, still on this same issue, have you ever felt disappointed that after your performance, after you have ministered, the pastor says thank you and you have to go?
Yes.
So how do you transmit that information to your crew members, like, oh, well, we have received our thank you and then we have to go? And then what do you say to them? Do you sometimes go out of your way to find money to foot these bills?
Yeah, to my team, sometimes when I get thank you from pastors, like I said, I thank God for the kind of team God bless me with. They understand my ministry so well. So if I go for programs and they didn't give me anything, still, I won't say because they didn't give us anything, I won't give them something. Out of my own personal money that I have, I share within them. If I don't have, I tell them the truth. Guys, there's nothing on ground, but give me a few time, I will sort you guys. No matter, it might not be to what I used to give them on a normal ground, but I will always drop something for them.
As a leader of Praise Aloud crew, how do you manage people and inspire them to stay committed to worship?
How do I manage them? Number one, we pray together. We worship together. I give them room to always share ideas with me. Guy, come. What's up? What's happening with your work? What's happening with your business? We talk. And I give them advice on what I see. Okay, do this. Let's try this. Let's try this. It works out. So it has given them a sense of, oh, we can always talk to this person. We can always meet with this person. And after that, I call everybody. Let's pray together. Let's worship God together.
So how did you come about Praise Aloud?
Okay, I came about Praise Aloud through one of my pastors. When I started 2017, I had no crew members. I started having crew members in 2020. So I would just go for programs alone. And my pastor called me that time and be like, guy, if you continue like this, people won't see what you carry. They won't take you serious. You need to have people that understand what you do, that understand how you minister, so that you can give people the best. Because I understand that there's a place of being anointed, there's a place of being skillful. Now, you can't be skillful if you don't have people that works with you that understand how you truly minister, so that at least they will bring out the skillful part of you. So, and he called me, so you need to have a crew member, you need to have guys. So in my church, I have some guys that we do rehearse together. I call them, come. I need you guys to join my team, be in my ministry. So they asked me, what are we going to call the name? I said, I don't know for now. So I went back to my pastor, okay, fine, I've gotten this set of people. And they said, okay, name. We need to work on a name. And I was just joking. I just said it, praise aloud. I just said it. And it was like, that's nice. So praise aloud crew, power crew. So it was my pastor that just gave it the word power crew. I just mentioned praise aloud crew. And since then we pick it up.
Okay, now we have had situations where gospel artists, gospel ministers would have an event, ministrations to attend, and then a few members of the team, they are probably engaged with other activities out there, and they are not available for the team. So how do you source for new people to join you so that you can have a complete team to minister?
I have a lot of guys. I have my main team, and I also have a lot of people that are not in the main team. So if some of my main team are not available, I have some other people I can easily call. Guys, Alpha, please, are you free? And I have a program and I need you to join the band so that we can move together. At the same time, this main team and all those other guys, they are still people that we rehearse together. If other guys are not still available, I will go with the available team.
Okay. Now, can you share the vision behind programs like Invasion 1.0, Wonders of Worship?
Okay, Wonders of Worship came when I was praying. I saw a vision to myself where I was moving from different churches and I was organizing programs. I just saw them. I saw myself dropping letters, and in the letter I saw hosting a programs. I saw the name of the program, Wonders of Worship. So since that time I picked it up. I organized Wonders of Worship in different churches in Ibadan. Different churches. Wonders of Worship is not my main program. It's just a program that I do every month in different churches. And Evasion is a program that I do every year, and it's a live record every year. I started 2023. Yes, 2023 we didn't have a live record. We started live record 2024. Yes, so 2023 Invasion, and it's a purely revival program, a revival worship meeting. God gave me that vision when I was in, when I was in OND1, yes, Invasion, and it's a purely revival worship meeting. We'll come together, we'll pray, we'll worship God. There's an outpouring, and God bless lives.
So what does being an energetic worshiper mean to you personally?
Being an energetic worshiper means a way of you calling people to worship and get revived through worship.
Okay. Now, basically, we'll still talk about some other things, but let's talk about the challenges you have faced as a gospel artist, and how has that shaped you? So let's have some of the challenges you have faced, and at the points that you felt like, I don't think I can continue with this, and then one way or the other, you got to inspire yourself to come back to do it.
One major challenges that I face in music ministry is the area of funding. It has been a big challenge. Based on what I do that God told me not to be, I have a lot of challenges. Hello, sir, I want to invite you for a program. Okay, date, time, location. If the Lord is leading me to go to the place. Okay, I'm coming with a team of these are this. We'll be coming. Anything you have and the Lord lays in your heart to bless us with, we'll take it. And they will tell you, come with your full team, no problem. We'll take care of you guys. Go with your full team, and after administration, all you get is God bless you, sir. Some will even go as far as, please write your account number, except if you see something next year or this year again. I could remember there was a time I went to Abeokuta, a church, and after the administration, full team, the pastor gave me 1,000 naira from Ibadan to Abeokuta. The human in me was like, Pastor, 1,000 naira. The man said, oh, Emma Bino, give me your account number. I was even happy that you can't transfer 1,000 naira inside my account now. When the man will transfer, he transferred 2,000 naira. I felt so down. Full team, transport. I still have to give these guys something. They have to eat. But I just felt, okay, no problem, sir. So I left his office. I went to meet my guys. The man gave us 2,000. They were shouting, get it go, blah, 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 blah. I just calmed down. Guys, don't worry. We'll sort it. So I had to call somebody. Please borrow me this certain amount of money. I will sort you later. When I got back home, I felt so, I was even crying that, God, if this is what will be happening, I think I won't continue this thing. No, I'll have to stop. But like I said before, anytime I remember where I'm going to, anytime I remember my purpose, I get inspired again.
Aside of putting aside your engineering skills to pursue music, are there other sacrifices you have had to make just to make sure that you are a full-time gospel minister?
No. Except the engineering part, no. Okay,
do you believe in your engineering background that it gives you a unique approach to worship and ministry?
I would say yes. While I was doing engineering in school, I had a lot of lecturers that gave me, that encouraged me, even not in the engineering aspect, in the music aspect, because almost all my lecturers knows that I sing. So they really tell me, for the fact that you're an engineer doesn't mean you can still do music. You can. So just pursue the one that you know. Engineering is for you to just have a certificate, whereby people will know that at least you study something, you studied engineering. And music is your purpose, is your plan. So go through it. I have a lot. And one thing I bless God for is the encouragement I got from my lecturer. They didn't even tell me, what are you looking for in music? You are doing engineering and still thinking about music. No, they still encourage me to do music more. And I can say, if I didn't even meet these people, I might not even still meet people that will encourage me to do music.
Now, we have had situations where most artists would model themselves around a particular artist as a role model. They see an artist as a role model and then they model themselves around such as do you have role models in the gospel music?
Yes, I have role model in the gospel music ministry.
And who's that?
I have Daybreak Justified.
Daybreak Justified.
Yes.
So putting your style side by side with that of Daybreak Justified, how close do you think it is?
My style to Daybreak Justified, how close? Rating 100%, I would say 60%. Daybreak is purely an energetic worshiper and a praiser. And I see myself as one also.
Now, we were talking about the challenges you have faced as a gospel artist. Now, has there ever been a time you felt, oh, this is what I've been chosen to do, and I will continue to do it, that you felt so happy that you knew and you were convinced that this is the way?
Yes, sure. There are a lot of times.
Can you share some of them?
Yeah. There's one thing I know God gave me. Anywhere I stand to minister, no matter, it's not pride, it's not to boast, but it's something I know God gave me. No matter how down the people are, there will be joy. Joy will always get restored. And that alone gives me joy. When I see people under my ministration and they give me testimony of, before coming to this program, I was so sad, I was down with a lot of things, but after your ministration, I don't know where the joy came from, I got so happy. So then I knew, no, truly, this is what God wants me to do. A lot of testimonies. When I receive testimonies, sometimes I will look at it and be like, God, is it me that you're using to do all this kind of a thing? So that alone gives me joy to push and to continue doing what I'm meant to do.
Okay, so most music artists these days, even secular music artists, they have ventured into harnessing the power of social media to push their craft. And that is, we have seen artists like Nosin Oyekon amassing so much views on YouTube, and so many other people, even Yinka Alashiyori, Evangelist Tokwe Alabi and the likes, they all have massive views on social media. And that is one of the areas of generating income. Do you intend to do something like that to push your craft? And also, just like you have complained about, is your funding for your projects. So how do you intend to do something similar?
Yes, I currently, I spoke to, I have a manager in the ministry, he's my drummer, and I spoke to him that I need to have a social media manager. So that anytime we're about to drop projects, we need to make sure it reach everywhere. And because I see social media is one of the parts where you can even make funds, a lot of things, YouTube. So I spoke to him and I have plan of having a social media manager that will manage accounts And also once we drop projects, he pick it up and push it out there.
So how important is social media to gospel music?
Social media is very important. Though it's not social media that actually push, it's God that lifts men. No matter how you push social media, if it's not yet your season, if it's not yet your time, you go nowhere. But social media is just an avenue whereby you can't just say you are waiting on God to lift you and you're not doing anything. There's something God will bless to lift you. And I see social media as one. So as a music person, you can't just sit down in your house and be praying that God lifts me and you're not doing anything. So what do you expect God to bless to lift you?
Now, another area where gospel artists are looking into is having, monthly gigs in studios, live shows. People do something really, fascinating with that. Gospel artists in Nigeria, A-list artists like that. So, and most of the times they do collaborations. They come on board, probably Yinka Alashiyori with one artist that is upcoming, and then there's a collaboration that actually lift the other artists. Do you plan to do something similar to people in the industry that you feel you are close to?
Yes, I have the plan. Currently, I'm setting up a studio. It's for me.
Of your own?
Yes, currently. It's still ongoing. So, and after the setup, we start our monthly program. I was doing the Wonders of Worship in different churches. At the same time, we'll start our online praise program monthly, every month. We'll bring in different ministers, because I understand that you have your own people, they have their own people too. So if you can collaborate together, then you push yourself out there. So that's very soon we'll start our monthly program online.
Now, that takes us to the issue of collaboration per se. If you're talking about collaboration, how much influence does collaboration in the gospel circle, how much influence does it have on career growth?
All right. Like I said before, you have your own people. Another minister also have his or her own people.
Because we have seen so many secular artists doing collaborations and it has worked really fine for them. Yes. But it hasn't really been like that for gospel artists. Most of them are doing solo arrangements until recently that we are beginning to see Lawrence Oyo, Guys Baba, and some other people coming together to do a form of partnership. And it is working. Yes. Are we going to see more of gospel artists keying into that?
Definitely we'll see more. Because I believe gospel artists have the understanding that you can actually we can work with each other to achieve different goals. I have my own goals. You have your own goal. And the major goal everybody is working towards as a gospel minister is to reach people, is to reach the unbeliever, preach the gospel to them through music. So if you have your own people that you work with, you people that your music is reaching out to, I also have people that my music is reaching out to. If we come together, we can reach as many people as possible. Because I have my own style of music, you have your own style of music. If we join the two styles of music together to form one, we can reach total number of people. And before we know it, we get massive report of people coming to Christ, people giving their life to Christ through music. And so people will even tell you, I saw a video of you and this person. I love it so much. That was what drew me to this. That was what. So it's going to work out. It's going to work out perfectly.
So where do you see Praise Aloud Crew in 5 years' time?
In 5 years' time, I see Praise Aloud Crew touching lives, many lives as possible. Many lives as possible.
So what message would you share with young gospel artists out there, because we are seeing a lot of young artists, springing up, everywhere in the country? What message do you have for them at this time?
The message I have for young artists is be patient, stay and build capacity for yourself until when God will launch you out himself.
So if you could leave one lasting impression on the next generation of gospel artists, what would that be?
It's, like I said, it's for them to just stay building capacity for yourself. Make sure you've built a capacity to a level that you yourself, you know that it's time for me to launch out.
Okay, if people want to reach out to you, how do they get across to you?
You can reach out to me on Instagram. Okay. You can reach out to me on TikTok.
Your handles?
That's Daybreak.
Daybreak. Could you please spell that?
Dippraise.
Again, please.
Dippraise.
All right, thank you for being a part of the show this morning. It has been a wonderful session with you. And we do hope that the next time we call you, you will be here.
Very well.
Okay, and that's where we draw the curtain on the big story today. Our heartfelt appreciation goes to Minister Akinrinde Oladipupo, who has been my guest so far in the studio, for sharing his inspiring journey with us, from engineering excellence to spiritual influence. His story reminds us that God can use every skill, every talent, and every profession to advance his kingdom, and when we yield ourselves to him. Thank you for watching Daybreak Live Extra on Dominion Television. I'm Samson Balogun. Stay inspired, stay faithful, and keep living your own big story. Up next is Trend Watch. We'll be back after this time out.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at Dominion Casts. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live like never before? Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram at Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
All right, welcome back from that short break. The show is still Daybreak Live Extra right here on Dominion Television. We'll say thank God it's Friday here, but link up with us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast, and on X, formerly Twitter, at Dominion Cast. You can also watch us live on our website, www.dominion.org.ng, dominion.org.ng, and do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Dominion Broadcast. Drop your comment there. We'll surely take them on this show. Now we move straight to Trend Watch this morning. I see with me Anulu Apoido and of course Pat Aito, with whom we'll be making sense of this trending story on social media. On the X yesterday, news broke that the landlord of the FCT, former governor of Rivers State, he's also a former minister before now. So before he joined,
we only know of former governor. We know of present minister.
Before he became minister of the FCT. Now, people call him the landlord of the FCT.
Okay.
He's traveling abroad to seek medical attention. Now, FCT minister Nyesom Wike travels to UK for medical attention 4 years after saying no need for overseas care. Now, there's one thing for you to be indifferent to things that people do. It's another thing to come out to do something different to what you earlier said. Yesterday, another video came, before we come back to this, another video surfaced, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, of Malam Nasir El-Rufai saying, look, he was on a TV station saying the government are paying bandits. But a video surfaced a few hours later where he said that there was no solution than to pay bandits. So if it's another thing to stay indifferent to things, just sit on defense, then say something and come back to do it. Now, people are saying a lot of things on Hex, and there were a lot of comments. Let's take some of these comments. But then before we go to comments, Anu, what would you say about Nyesom Wike? Going back on what he said.
You know, I think for a while now, Wike has been in the story every now and then. I mean, for different reasons, different purposes. Of course, you might want to ask him. Maybe he has intentions for some things he's not coming out to say yet. So he's always in the picture. So if you bring a picture, you see Wike. You see another picture tomorrow, it's Wike. Somewhere, Wike. Wike is everywhere. Well, I think, again, maybe this is good for his political sojourn. Maybe it's good for the next line of action they want to take. So because I want to say it this way, even whatever you say about Wike, whether negative or positive, it's probably driving at something. So, you know, I think we were having a conversation off the mic one time, and then you mentioned that, you know, there could be a way to garner, you know, traction. Even if it's negative or positive. I think you mentioned a particular guy. I don't want to mention his name, but whatever anyway. So why am I hiding it? So there's a way he's trying to like build up a particular traction for himself. So he has a traction and a track record of being in the spotlight. He doesn't
want to fade off.
Exactly.
So he wants to stay on the front pages of the newspaper.
So it's afloat, whether negative or positive.
Something is going to fade him out now, and that is him traveling out of the country to seek for medical treatment or medical attention.
That still doesn't do anything. It will still be there. He has access to phones. He can make.
He has access to phones. This has happened to him for a very long time, where they said he should go for a surgery, and he said he don't want to be out of the face. Now he's out of the country, so he will need to give a directive to someone else to like, okay, do this on my behalf. So from April 2021, you said something, and we're in 2025, 4 years down the lane. You could not even go back to Rivers, government house to like, okay, this is what is actually happening to me. I want to seek for medical attention. Now you have to go to UK. And going to UK, some of them, the last, what's it called, former President Buhari, and somebody was trying to give us the picture of how the place he was admitted was. Like, it's just a small room like that, and you have to pay £2,000 every day. So we don't know how much Wike is going to do, but I feel like ever since he had left G5, he has always been looking lean, lots of losing weight thereabouts. So I know something is actually happening. Well, all the same, we pray for quick recovery.
You know, there's something I actually want to say is sometimes if you don't take care of immediate businesses, if you don't take care of what really matters to the people, you end up paying premium for nothing. You know, you just keep paying money, and then one day you ask yourself, why am I paying such an amount of money? Let me cite an instance. A former governor of Kogi State, Governor Yaya Bello, built what they termed as world-class hospital in Kogi State. Yahya Bello was sick. Yahya Bello did not go to Confluence Hospital in Kogi State. Yahya Bello asked to be transferred, or maybe for a permission to travel outside the country to receive medical treatment. Now, I want to believe this is, I don't want to believe that they do not trust the facility, they do not trust the hands you have in Nigeria, because majority of the people you have in Nigeria are still the ones traveling out of the country to treat. So I don't want to believe that, but I want to believe as a politician, you do not really trust anybody. So, and that is because of the kind of politics we play in Nigeria. I mean, your health should not be delayed until a time when you do not have a choice than to travel abroad. Who exactly is after you that you do not trust, that makes you think, oh, you just have to leave the country before you receive treatment? Don't mind you, we have seen people recently who travel back to Nigeria for medical treatment. If you do not have insurance, in the UK, in the US, for medical reasons, you have to, it will be a lot better for you to travel, pay for flight tickets, travel back to Nigeria for treatment. Because when you compare how much you will pay down there to how much you will pay in Nigeria, you'll see you have a reason to be in Nigeria. Now, how do we turn Nigeria to a cornerstone, or what we call the hub for medical tourism? That is a question. And this is not rocket science. This is what the government can do. It's just that the lack of the political will to get things done. How much will it cost? Let me cite an instance here. The Oyo State government came out recently and said, oh, we are spending 63 billion naira to renovate the government house. About 63.5. That's around $20 million or thereabout, over $20 million. Now, do you know how many primary healthcare centers that will build? Do you know how many primary healthcare centers that will actually renovate if they actually have one there? Now, in a local government, you might just have about 1 or 2 primary healthcare centers. Should we have just 2 instead of about 10, 11? Every ward, every unit must have a primary healthcare center. That means lives and properties, I mean, let me just say lives of people really do not matter to Nigeria, do not matter to Nigerians, and do not matter to the Nigerian government. So if you take things seriously, we realize that there are basic things we need to fix. And until we fix that, the country is going nowhere.
Let me come from this angle to maybe to speak for the politicians a bit, not so much. But just
to speak for them, are you a politician?
Not exactly.
Well, his cap suggests
okay, it looks like what?
Maybe someday. But I just want to say that, do you think this, serving in the public office in the country, does it take a toll on their health? Because we've seen time and again where we have past president, current president, past governors, current governors, past ministers, current ministers, having to travel out to get medical attention.
I do not think so. I think Nigerians are going through the same thing at the same time. Because if you look, an average Nigerian also, we go through all these things on a daily basis. We have had to go to places to buy drugs. We have had to go to hospitals.
Just that
we do not have what it takes to say, oh, I'm down, I want to travel. They have that capacity. And they can also say, oh, the government pays for some of these things. So it's not like they are dipping their hand into their pocket to pay for these things. No. They are in power. So the government, they have the taxpayers' money, sorts these things out. So it doesn't cost them anything to say I want to travel.
But if there's a frequency, I'm just saying, if there's a frequency of that from time immemorial, it suggests there could be a bit of stress also. You can't be a president and
so don't you go through stress? You come here at 6 a.m. every morning. You go through stress too. She goes through stress too. So it's not an excuse.
We were both
most times you stay late. You stay late at night to prepare your scripts for your shows. That is stress. So it means you are taking care of something. And we might have stages to these things, but everyone goes. Living in Nigeria alone is stress. Now let's take comments. And there's one that says in years of Wiki 2020, no need for overseas care. In years of Wiki 2025, after small fever, doctor abeg check me sharp. I mean, all the way to the UK, you will see a sign of the aeroplane traveling abroad. And Kion Boy Adam says all that Wiki has ever said, he has contradicted himself. I want to believe he wanted to say contradicted. Whatever comes out of his mouth, he just spew. I mean, that's really big. And Maxwell says, I've never taken whatever he says seriously. Even if he greets good morning, I will know it's night already. Wow, that's solid.
Miriam Odiete also says, they refuse to give Nigerians a better health care. No hospital in Nigeria for the people, but the so-called politicians runs to UK and France for treatment. One day their health will fail them.
Exactly. Well, we have e-Africa experience as an ordinary Nigerian citizens. You are in.
And that's my own take this morning. That was what I was driving.
Are we in trouble?
Which take?
That was what I was driving.
Are we
Say
in trouble?
it now.
You see, the truth of the matter is, if the politicians have their way out, what happens to an average Nigerian?
Which average? There's no average Nigerian. There is ordinary Nigerian.
Well, if you want to put it that way, I will agree with you. Ordinary Nigerians. And I am the ordinary president of my household, so automatically I provide for the people.
Ordinary. Maybe we should sing this song.
Okay, we simply have to go this morning. Our time is fast spent on the show. We say thank you for staying with us all through the week. For everyone that has been out there watching Daybreak Live and, of course, Dominion Television, thank you so much for being a part of the show so far. Until next week, when we shall be meeting again, as I do say on a Friday, that when it is time to enjoy, it is worthy of note to actually keep it down, tone it down a little bit, enjoy minimally. Samson Badogu is my name. Until next week, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. every Mondays to Fridays. Keep it locked on this dial. We still have a lot to unpack for you on this dial this morning and, of course, today. Bye for now.
My name is Arnold Apoido, and on that note, I will say enjoy yourself, but be happy, intentionally happy. Many things will not make you happy, but be happy.
All right, this is a fine place to live it this morning. My name is Pat Aito. Wishing you a beautiful weekend. Bye for now.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras